Are you ready to roll?
Yes.
About to knock the machine over to start. All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is... What's the day?
January 16th.
January 16th.
2020.
And what day of the week is it?
It's Thursday, because
All right.
I teach today. That's how I remember about my students who comes.
All right, let's get down.
Yes.
Forever working. All right, what we want to do today is battle, I guess you could say, usually the most difficult show of the year. I mean battle, not in a bad way, not in a negative way, but for the past 7 majors that we have done, we've always tried to find a way to make the draw show the easiest and most time-consuming to look at. I think the first major we had like 4 different shows that were each like an hour and a half each, and people were like, "Whoa, it's too long." So what we've tried to do is condense this the best that we can. So what we're going to do today is we're going to spend X amount of minutes on the top half of the men's draw, X amount of minutes on the bottom half of the men's draw, X amount of minutes on the top half of the women's draw, and X amount of minutes on the bottom half of the women's draw. And we'll go ahead and tell you who that we think will proceed along in the draw and who may not. When Carla and I do this, we compete on a different game, on a different kind of video playlist. And I won't get into that on this video because a lot of you don't really follow our fantasy team game and our tennis racket giveaway game. But I did put that Yonex V-Core 97 that we are giving away out on the table. So if you're interested in winning that or playing along with our fantasy teams that we do and compete for prizes, shirts, strings, whatever, then check that.
Shirts, strings, and Australian Open shirt too.
Yeah, Y-Tech shirts, Y-Tech strings, 5K tennis shirts. Go to that video before the Australian Open begins, before the first ball is struck, and that video is on its own playlist, and it says Australian Open prize giveaways and tennis racket competition for the Australian Open 2020. Mm-hmm. So if you hear me allude to some of, hey, I picked her on my fantasy team, then forgive me, but we're trying to do a lot in a short period of time. This is the day where a lot of the viewers and players are submitting their fantasy teams and submitting their predictions for the tennis racket. So we're trying to condense it all into one show.
Right.
All right. So do you have a stopwatch there, Carla?
I thought we were starting with some news first.
Oh, let's start with your news. Yes. So let's go with your news before we get into the 2020 draws.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I think we all know Alex de Minaur will not be competing in this year's Australian Open 2020 due to abdominal injury. He played way too much at the ATP Cup. I think you said this already. In other news as well, Schnur decides to apologize for saying that Nadal and Federer are selfish. He said that the words were taken out of context, so he apologized to them, saying they are great for the sport. That's not what he meant. I'm pretty sure that his publicist
marketing
said, "What
agent,
are you doing?"
whatever, like, whoa. The two bits of I guess response to that news. The first bit of news, de Minaur is out. We've talked about this I think on the past 2 shows. Too bad. Unfortunately, this is what happens when we put too much into matches that may not have meant that much at the end of the day.
Right.
So unfortunately, the ATP Cup tweaked the abdomen once again. Hopefully, de Minaur gets through that. But in order to knock on the door of the big 3 or to be the next or be part of the next big 3, then having a nuisance abdominal strain, abdominal like the abdominal snowman, abdominal strain at a young age is something we need to kind of get under control and work with our physios on. Secondly, the young Canadian player, Schnur, was he a Canadian player?
Yes. That
kind of dissed on Federer and Djokovic and Nadal for not standing up and like dissing the tournament and not playing because they were selfish. We talked about how selfish of a statement that was and how immature of a statement that was yesterday. And between yesterday and now, he has retracted his statement.
Of course he is. He's going to bump into these guys. That's the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't say anything about those 3 guys.
Yeah,
point blank.
And when it's not true, especially. The kid Schnur basically said, these guys, they're selfish for not taking a stand. Well, he was
I
obviously.
wonder why he didn't put Djokovic in that category. You think Djokovic would have
Well,
told him to screw off?
No, he did. He did in a way because Djokovic is the head of the player council, the president, and he mentioned that the player council needs to be better. So he did. He called out Djokovic, or he called out Nadal and Federer personally, and then mentioned the players council, which
he just mentioned the player council today.
Well, okay, so he mentioned Djokovic today. Anyway, it was a naive statement, and he realized it on the global world stage. You don't want to call those guys selfish because they're far from it. Hence why we did a segment on yesterday's show about it.
We had also a lot of players moved on into the second round of the qualifying, or they won. Bouchard wins, Niculescu wins, Rogers win, McNally, Vicari, Lepchenko, American players. Gobis plays Gonneswern on the third one. Choisky's in the third round, and so is Kopil and Rosal. So that's some good matches there.
Yeah, I would love to see Troitsky in the main draw. He deserves to be there. Yeah. That's Djokovic's boy. Did you say Rogers? Shelby Rogers, the American?
Also, yeah.
Hopefully she gets in there. Yeah. Bouchard, by the way,
could hurt somebody. She could hurt somebody.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Bouchard fan. But I hate to see a fall from grace. I'm not a huge Bouchard fan, but I hate to see a fall from grace. 2014 Wimbledon finalist. Since then, it's kind of been null and void. Like, where you at? Instagram, okay, but not in tennis. But maybe that's starting to change. I did not think about Bouchard on my fantasy team selection or the tennis racket giveaway selections because I didn't trust her enough yet to consider her back in the thick of things.
Auckland, her catch moves on into the semis and will play pair. Pair beat Millman. Oh, we saw Shapovalov go down to Humbert, which is a young guy.
Yeah, Humbert can play.
But I don't see much. I mean, the Australian Open is right there. Why put all that energy into a match? You know what I mean? You got the Australian Open happening in a few days.
I do know what you mean.
But I think he lost that match. I think Humbert played well.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you for clearing the air on that.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, yes, if you're Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, and you dump off a match, early on, great. But when you're 19, 20, 21, 22, up and coming, dig deep, grind, get the body more conditioned, more mentally fit in the head, and dig deep. So I do not think that Shapovalov was conserving energy. I think Shapovalov lost that match.
Which is why I didn't really pick him for the Australian.
It's the same reason why I didn't pick him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I did not. So it's Isner, Humbert, and her catch and pair. And then we watch...
by the way, her catch. Was it Herbert or Herbert? Her catch?
Her catch.
His first name. Anyway, I think it's Humbert.
Oh, Humbert, yeah.
Dangerous player. Watch out for her catch, maybe even beating Federer. As they may meet early on in the men's draw for the 2020 Australian Open. Upset alert, watch that.
Yep, and we also watched Halep go down. Was it in Adelaide?
Look,
Adelaide, we watched Halep.
Halep got destroyed.
It was like
she didn't just go down.
6-4, 6-2, and we watched... It was awful.
Screech
Halep
alert.
and Sabalenka. I'm like, what are we listening to? I was laughing the whole time.
The Screech level indicator meter came out last night in the Halep-Sabalenka match. For those of you who don't know, we have a little electronic device. It's a pretty interesting little gadget. We break it out when we hear excessive screeching or grunting on the tennis court. We break it out, and there's a little needle from 0 to 10, and it goes... It's like that metal detector in
That was horrible. I'm sorry.
So it detects screeching. This match actually set the precedence for this tournament. Prior to it wasn't at the Australian. It was at Auckland, right? No, Adelaide. This sucker scored a 9.37, 38, 34, 2, 1 with a repeating after that. This match set the precedence for the Australian Open Screech level indicator meter.
Yep, she had 5. Sabalenka had Halep 5-0, and then Halep won the next 2 games, and. Well, then, Sabalenka won the match. Do I think this match is a big deal to me? He does, because he likes Sabalenka.
Here's the thing.
Here's why, because Halep is unpredictable. I think B-Dog will say that. Wayne and Chio will say that. Many of you will say that. She is so unpredictable. You don't know how she's going to do. Either she's on or not. And this is not a Grand Slam. Does it really matter?
Yeah, it matters when you beat it.
Not to Halep.
Are you serious?
No, it doesn't matter.
Halep looked a little bit rusty. She looked a little bit rusty.
Okay, well, she got the rust out, and then she's got... But she's still not my pick for the Australian
You know what?
Open.
It looked like to me that Sabalenka is ready to do some damage at the Australian Open. Sabalenka was hitting guided missiles like, pow, get back, overpowered her. She blew her off the court. What are you even talking about? She blew her off the court. She beat her 6-4, and then was up 5-0 in the second set.
Halep is a counter puncher. She has no power. A lot of viewers have complained that she's not aggressive
We
at
have
all.
we have two viewers that
think
picked Halep on their fantasy team
that
for the
you
finals.
guys are dumb? Do you think Halep would do that to another player like Osaka? No. Sabalenka would do that to Osaka? No, because these guys are power hitters. She wouldn't be able to do that. Let's be real.
So wait. Here,
Anyways,
can I get my thought out? So here we are for the past year. I've been talking about Sabalenka.
I have her going down.
And how I think Sabalenka will win her first major before Osaka
You
wins
funny.
her next major.
You're
Not.
funny.
Remember that.
Choke on your
So
words.
watch out, Sabalenka. Let's get down. Get back.
Anyways, next match was Yastremska. The 19-year-old takes out Vekic. Good match for her.
Watch out for Yastremska on your fantasy team.
Yeah, Barty wins her match, and Collins beats who? Who does Collins beat? I can't remember.
We watched that match.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, gee whiz. She beat her handily. And Collins, by the way, Danielle Collins, yes, the player that played for the University of Florida wasn't good enough, got transferred to Virginia, University of Virginia, D1. Both schools won 2 national championships.
You always say this, I'm sure.
And now has found herself maybe on my fantasy team. Watch out, Danielle Collins.
Yeah, but he always made fun of that because I always pick Collins. And
she's a spunky player.
She beat Benchik 6-3, 6-1.
That's right, destroyed Benchik.
Destroyed her.
Hence why I didn't pick Benchik on my team for this draw.
And that's it. Let's go to the draws.
Women's draws. Let's roll. So,
what's the time?
So, I don't know. You can check it out or just not. We can plot through it.
Check. What's the time?
Let's set it at 5 minutes.
Okay.
So the goal here is to talk about the women's top half of the draw in 5 minutes and the bottom half of the draw within 5 minutes. 5 minutes, no matter where we're at, we're done. And we're going to try to finish it quicker. Because as these shows move forward, we're going to dig
5
deeper.
minutes. That's gonna be
Let's
tough.
go 5 minutes when I tell you. We're going to start. So what I did is I wrote down some notes on some matches as I was making my fantasy team draw. And as you were making yours, Carla and I have not discussed this. So let's rock and roll. Hit the clock.
All right, let's
go. All right, so making my draw as she was making hers, the first note that I wrote down is watch out for the potential second round matchup between Ashley Barty and Polona Hercar.
I had Hercar going down. Yeah, probably. Who knows? She could go down to Peterson. That's not an important match to me at all.
So Barty had a slow start. They looked a little tight in some matches she should have won early on, kind of like Serena-ish. But I do have Barty sailing through her sections. Just below that, I had a note written here, watch out for the Madison Keys, Daria Kazatkina match that's going to go down in the first round.
That's tough for them. Actually, I have Barty, and I read where a guy that predicts, he does bets, he predicts that Barty will go down early, not to pick her, to watch out for her, and I have her losing to Allison Risk, actually, in the 4th round. I don't have her going far. I'm sorry.
The only thing about when you read articles when it comes to betting,
he has predicted everything true.
Since you don't know anything about betting, can I tell you something?
Are you keep yelling over me today?
Jeez.
I'm telling you, this guy has predicted pretty much everything that's happened so far.
Okay. So
First of all,
most people that write stories about betting, it's because they were paid off by the house to write the story in the first place.
No,
don't believe what you read.
I'm not believing, but I'm telling
Sounds
you
like
that Barty is playing in Australia. She's going to feel the pressure. She will go down in the 4th round.
So you're telling me there's a curse in Australia where Australians can't win the Australian Open?
She has just too much. They're expecting too much from her. And usually when that happens, a player tends to fail. And she will lose 4th round.
I have Barty sailing to the quarterfinals.
I don't. Next important match that I saw, like you said, was Keys and Kazatkina, but I think Keys will sail through that match. Kazatkina just doesn't have the confidence.
Well, you have to be careful with Kazatkina because Kazatkina can be dangerous. She's proved that a couple of years ago. But Keys should sail here. She really should, but I stayed away from both players on my fantasy team simply because that first round was too much of a question mark.
I actually have Keys going to the semifinals in this tournament.
Shoot, really?
Yeah.
You got Keys going to the semis?
Yes.
I think you need to semi-split off that brain and go with your lest hemisphere.
I actually have her beating Kvitova in the 4th round. Kvitova is always beatable. You just never know where she's at mentally.
Jeez. Look, yeah. I have the beautiful ball-headed erect ball.
Oh no, I have
Sakari
her
beating Keys.
No way.
But as you move down, there's one player that I'm going to mention, and you all might laugh at me, but Aranksha Rus.
She just lost badly the other.
The only reason why I mention her is not that I have her going anywhere in my draw. whatsoever. But Arantxa Rus is just below Madison Keys, and I only say this as to a shout out to those like Anisimova and Coco Gauff and all these young players. Arantxa Rus, I'm not saying she's going to win anything.
Why are we wasting time on this?
Can I tell you something?
We're like down to 2 minutes.
Okay, can I tell you something about Arantxa Rus? Arantxa Rus had as much promise as Coco Gauff or Anisimova did, and have you all heard Arantxa Rus before? Maybe a lot of you have or haven't.
Someone just slapped Justin, wasting time on a player.
I'm just saying. I'm making a point.
No point. You're just mentioning a player you like. Next. Osaka. Osaka has could face Coco Gauff. I mean, can you believe Venus Williams and Coco Gauff again?
Venus Williams is going to beat Coco Gauff in the first round.
You think so?
She's going to get her vengeance, and she's going to win.
No, she's had a tough beginning of the year. I think Coco will beat her again.
She's not going to beat her again.
I think it'll be Osaka and Coco in the third round. And then Osaka and Kenin in the fourth round.
I have Osaka and Venus in the third round, but I do have the same fourth round. I do have Osaka meeting Kenin.
Yeah, I don't think Stevens can hurt Kenin, even if she wins her first round match.
You know, I don't either. Sloane Stevens, I do like a lot. I've given her grief over the past year because of her chocolate milk commercials, where I didn't really see a fit there. But I agree with you on the fourth round, but I think Venus beats Coco.
All right.
58 seconds.
We're not going to finish this.
Let's go. Come on, let's go. This is just the top half.
Yastremska. I have her going pretty far here. She's the 23rd seed. She should face Wozniacki in the second round. I think we're going to say bye-bye to Wozniacki because this is one of her last tournaments.
You know, I saw Yastremska down there, and I saw Wozniacki right next to it, and I just told myself one thing. Wozniacki's defensive gameplay is not going to get through Yastremska here. This is where Wozniacki will lose early. So I took as much heart in this pick as I could, and Yastremska took it. I do know that in Yastremska's quarter or section, she has Johanna Konta and Caroline Garcia.
I have Konta losing in the first round.
Yeah, so for me at the end of the day, I felt like that Sloane Stevens, Kenin, Konta, Garcia were in a very busy section of the draw, but I felt like Yastremska would come through that section of the draw. Young, ready to fight.
All right,
so we're going to cram the bottom section in, which involves Serena Williams.
Serena there. I have Serena facing Yastremska, and I think that Serena will win.
Oh, jeez. All right, so we're gonna pause here.
Yeah.
2:04. All right, here we go. All right, so sorry for the interruption. We had the FedEx guy at the door. So hopefully
we're so lucky.
Hopefully my editing skills will work out better. The last section of the bottom half of the top half of the women's draw involves Serena Williams. Yeah. I'm gonna let you start there because I don't know what to expect here.
I think for Serena, she will have a little test with Potapova. She's known to be a tough player and could give her trouble. Then I think she really should sail on. Yastremska will be a test for her. And I know I said that I wouldn't pick Serena, but I actually did. And I've got Serena actually going up against Osaka and beating Osaka and making it to a final.
Did not pick Serena at all.
I did. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't take her out.
I'm a fan, and I hope. I do think that you are spot on with Potapova. She's a solid player. I think Serena will win that match. Watch out, though. You have a good first-round match between Tiang Wang and Parmentier. Parmentier is a good French player.
Yes, she is. And I almost picked her to beat Wang, but I wasn't sure.
Okay, with that said, I think that the Wang-Serena match might be the first test for Serena to find out if she can stay fit.
I think the first round will be tough for her.
But the match I see Serena Williams losing in is against Yastremska.
Okay.
I don't think I wrote on my draw. I wrote that Serena would win that match and then face Osaka in the quarters. But on my fantasy team selection, I didn't do that. So my predictive draw, I did. But the fantasy team where it matters for me because I like to compete. Let's go. I did not pick Serena as I think Yastremska will beat her.
Well, I have a semifinals of Keys, Serena, and Serena winning.
My semifinal I have is Barty against Osaka, with Osaka winning. Top half, I've got Osaka going to the final. All right. You want to start the clock down? Maybe we can shoot for 5 or 6 minutes on this one because the bottom half of this draw is absolutely open. Pliskova should sail through like nothing.
All right. Timer 6. We'll do 6 because I think
ready?
6 will...
That's 60.
Yes, I know. Thank
All
you.
right. So as we start the bottom half of the women's draw, a couple of notes that I just wrote down about the top half.
Okay.
Some matches to watch for the first round. Coco Gauff versus Venus Williams. Sloane Stephens against Shuai Zhang. Johanna Konta against Ons Jabeur, the Tunisian player.
Yeah,
That's a good
I had
match.
that one on my list.
Can Caroline Garcia do anything in her section with Yastremska and Konta looming above her and below her? We just talked about Serena. Watch out for Alexandrova. And this part of the draw, Barty and Yastremska, in my opinion, in this half or the upper half, have a big time chance. Don't forget about Petra Martic in there. She's back in the thick of things. Maybe you'll think about Sloane Stephens, but I would kind of allude to what Carla mentioned earlier about there being somewhat of a curse with Australian players winning the Australian Open since the likes of Margaret Court. Is a reality? I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
All right. So bottom half of the women's draw. The first note I had was a potential second round matchup between Belinda Bencic and Helena Ostapenko.
I'm starting it. Am I starting it?
Go for it.
Well, I actually have Ostapenko beating Bencic. I just don't see Bencic starting out really good. She's
like
just
it.
lost to so many people, and I think Ostapenko will be a little inspired after her father's death. She might fight through this, and I actually have her going all the way to the fourth round.
Who do you have?
Ostapenko.
Okay, I can respect that because on my draw, I had a slash between Bencic or Ostapenko. That's why I steered clear of that upper section. But if
I didn't pick her on my thing, but on my fantasy group, but I have her in my draw going to fourth round.
Bencic got destroyed by, who was it?
Collins recently.
Collins.
And then she lost the last tournament.
Yeah, so that was a tough one. Just below those two players is Annette Kontaveit, who one of the viewers, and I forget right off, selected her on his fantasy team, and I think that's a really good pick. Annette Kontaveit can play the game, so don't be shocked if Kontaveit sneaks into a fourth round because she can play the game as well.
I actually have the Russian Kondramatova beating...
Kudermetova, yeah.
Yeah, I think she will go further. I don't think that Kontaveit will even win her first round, actually. I have Kudermetova facing Ostapenko in the third round.
Moving below that, the likes of Donna Vekic
Or Sharapova.
and Sharapova, a first round matchup.
Wow.
Look, I'm gonna.
What a slap in the face.
And what a grunt and screech off.
Woo!
I can assure you that this match is going to have the screech level indicator meter come out, and this could set the precedence for the entire season.
Poor Sharapova. If she can get through that, then she should get through some matches. But then she's got Sabalenka around the corner, so yikes.
I think, and don't take this the wrong way, but I think Mladonium-Sharapova will get destroyed by Vekic.
I agree.
However, I don't want to get into that here because I'm not a trial or jury, but it seems a little bit odd since Mladonium can't win, but Mladonium, okay.
Yeah.
The screech remained the same though. However, who is below that? We have first.
Swiatek is there too.
That's good. That's good stuff.
That's going to be another test for Miss Sabalenka there.
You know what I think is a good mixed doubles pair up is Iga Swiatek playing with Humbert Hurkacz.
Okay.
Polish players, strong, both of them. That's a good call. Swiatek, I saw her there, but I was too worried about my Sabalenka below that after she takes out Carla Suarez Navarro in the first round.
And we know Suarez is her last year as well, so she might give it her all.
Yeah, she also might get destroyed by Sabalenka, which I have Sabalenka going all the way to the semifinals. Let's go! Woo!
What a joke. Are you kidding me?
Shoot, how I roll.
I have Vekic beating Sabalenka in the third round. Is that a joke?
Shoot, I got Sabalenka going to the semis.
Justin, tell you what. Want to make a bet?
Yeah, I want to make a bet.
I bet you Vekic will beat her if they face each other.
What you want to put on that?
I don't know.
Didn't you say last...
You got to dress like Sabalenka.
How am I going to dress like Sabalenka?
I don't know. Put the bandana and go, ah!
So put a bandana around my head.
Yeah.
Like put some papers, like stuff
and talk like she did on her Twitter account. Yeah.
And then like hold my face back a little bit.
Yeah, hold back.
Hold my face back.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm going to take you in on this bet. So what's the bet?
I already told you my part. I don't know what.
So in the third round, if they meet.
Yeah, I think Vekic will beat her.
In the third round, if Sabalenka and Vekic meet, I am taking Sabalenka if it happens, and you are taking Donna Vekic, Wawrinka's ex.
Yes.
If Sabalenka wins, or excuse me, if Sabalenka loses, I will dress like Sabalenka.
Yep.
Maybe have to get some, fake traps, some moves, some bandanas going, some face tape, some shit. I'll make something work. I'll make it look good. However, if Sabalenka wins, you dress like Sabalenka.
Jeez, I don't look nothing like her, but okay.
Okay, well, we're going to figure something out. All right?
All right.
Good enough?
Yeah, good enough.
Lock it in.
All right.
Let's go. All right, let's move forward. I don't even have to discuss my really top half or bottom half of the women's draw because I'm telling you, Sabalenka is going to meet Daniela Collins in the quarterfinals, and she's going to beat Collins and move into the semis.
That's funny because I have Vekic Collins moving to semi. So I guess we both agree that Halep will not do much at this Australian Open.
Yeah, look, most of my draw I left kind of blank and open in that aspect because, I mean, I have the likes of Mertens in there. I have Vekic in there.
Done much this year. Yeah. Halep would face Collins in the third round.
Yeah, Halep got thumped by Sabalenka last night. Looked like she'd never been on the court before.
Yeah. Well, let's go down to Slovenia. This is open for her, but I don't think that she will do well.
Yeah,
I don't.
Sevastovan's going to get in her business.
And then I actually have Tomljanovic beating Sevastova in the first round. She hasn't had a solid year. Sevastova has not a solid.
I totally disagree with that.
Okay, you will see.
Okay, you know who I say you got to watch out for in that section?
Muguruza.
Let's go. Come on. You can't forget she's won 2 majors. I got Muguruza on my fantasy team.
I have Muguruza going to the quarters and losing to Pliskova.
I have Muguruza. I can't let the cat out of the bag right now. We haven't gotten there yet.
All right, so we have Slovenia that I think will face off Muguruza third round. I have Muguruza winning that. And then we got the young girl, Anisimova. Anisimova, this is pretty open for her. Good opportunity for her to make a fourth round or quarters. Even though I have Muguruza beating Anisimova.
Anisimova and Muguruza should meet up. They should meet up in the fourth round. Mm-hmm. They should. Did I pick both of them because I was so unsure? I did. On my fantasy team, I selected Anisimova and Muguruza because they were both outside of the top 20.
So did I.
Because, I mean, so did I. Brainwave.
I picked the same one. I thought, well, whoever wins that can go further or score me more points. So, yeah.
So what we can't dismiss, though, is as we get down to the bottom half. The bottom half of the bottom. You have...
Pliskova needs to say thank you for the easy draw today.
Yeah, Pliskova's got to be happy. Don't forget that Taylor Townsend's down here, the serving volleyer.
She could lose to Pegula.
Her fitness is suspect. Could lose to Pegula. You got Kuznetsova down there. She's won a major. I think it was the U.S. Open. I think she's won 2, actually.
But she's got a tough... Vondrushova's going to be tough.
Vondrushova's there. Yeah. Kuznetsova.
Georgie's there.
Yeah, Camellia, the Barbie doll herself, she's not going to do much damage.
You know where...
Bertens is down there with Anisimova, by the way. Kiki Bertens.
Bouchard needs to be put in that section when they have qualifiers. She needs to be given a chance. She could have a good chance if she was put there.
Bottom half of the women's draw. Who's your semifinalist?
Collins and Pliskova.
Sabalenka and Pliskova.
And I have Pliskova winning.
And I have Sabalenka going to the final against Osaka.
No.
Who's your winner?
For what? Finals?
The women's finals.
Serena against Pliskova. Serena winning. Margaret Court. I'm wishful thinking.
I have the final that I've talked about for a year and a half.
And guys,
Naomi Osaka will play Aryna Sabalenka in the final, and Sabalenka will win her first major as the storyline that I've called for a year and a half. Let's get down.
That is the funniest pick ever, guys. Oh God, can we make a bet that she'll never win that slam?
I don't know, but look, I'm feeling
let's
pretty
do our
sad.
fantasy. Are we doing our fantasy groups?
Let's do the men's. Let's go to the men's.
That was funny.
All right, so we're gonna flip right forward into the men's, and we're gonna get.
All right, so I had a lot of you guys sending me messages at 2-3 in the morning. By the way,
let's go with it. Let's go.
Random Chia said if Federer has the easiest draw. I think I had Rajesh said that Federer has the easiest draw. And I looked at this and I said, and I told Rajesh, I said, listen, the reality is that Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, they should always sail through the first few rounds. It should be easy for them. But I looked at it and I'm sorry, I don't see a challenge for Djokovic in quite a few rounds. Whereas Federer, we don't know, right?
Top half of the men's draw, because I'm confident on this one. Yes, I agree with everything she just said. Djokovic, in my opinion...
That's a joke. Struff is the only one.
Yeah, Djokovic's first round match against Jan-Lennard Struff, respectively, is, I think, his most difficult match.
Match.
Until maybe meeting Cilic, as I have.
I don't even have Cilic winning.
So let's get into this, and we're going to smoke through this. We were right at 30 minutes. So,
okay, so we got Nadal on the top, right? He should sail through.
Wait a minute. Nadal will ultimately, I think, meet... either Karen Khachanov or Nick Kyrgios, which I think that player will be Nick Kyrgios that he meets.
Well, I do have that. I have Nick Kyrgios. There's no challenge there for Kyrgios. He will be Khachanov. And Nadal has no challenge there with Pablo Carreño Busta.
Okay, I was going to ask you, is Busta a challenge?
No.
Okay, so let's save everyone at home the thought
It's Kyrgios
process.
and Nadal.
Kyrgios Nadal all the way down. Now, don't forget, Dominic Thiem, by the way, is down in the same section as is Monfils, as is Felix Auger-Aliassime, as is Kevin Anderson. Medvedev is there. The guy that doesn't try very hard, as the ref said, Pablo Cuevas is down there. So, but let's look at this. Let's look at this. In that, let's just blow through this section. In the entire upper half of the upper half, you have Nadal, Kyrgios, Monfils, Thiem, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Kevin Anderson's in there. You have to expect it'll be Nadal, Kyrgios, and then potentially Monfils or Felix Auger-Aliassime.
I have Monfils
and Thiem.
I have Monfils facing Thiem.
I have Thiem facing Kyrgios. But
I mean here, this would be Monfils facing Thiem. Kyrgios would have to be Nadal.
Yes. I have Monfils facing Thiem as well.
Yeah.
But I have Thiem beating Monfils. And then I have Thiem facing Kyrgios. You have Thiem facing Nadal.
Yes.
I have Kyrgios beating Thiem and Kyrgios moving into the semifinals.
I have Nadal moving into the semis.
So just to save everybody the time, sure, it would be nice to see Felix do well, or
Felix will do well. He will win a couple rounds. For sure. Anderson could be tricky for Thiem. Actually.
And what about Monfils in there? I think Anderson has no shot.
I think Anderson will beat Fritz, and Anderson could beat Thiem. You never know.
All right, moving to the bottom half of the top half of the men's draw, we have the likes of Medvedev in there. Don't forget about Tsonga. Isner's in there. Wawrinka, Goffin,
Kecmanovic,
Rublev.
Yep.
Bachelus Vili. I don't think anyone needs to waste time on Zverev because he hates puppies.
Well, I actually have Zverev losing in the first round.
Zverev could lose in the first round to Cecchinato.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. He could. I don't think he will, but he could.
Yeah.
He could. I think Cecchinato is no different than Berrettini. I mean, I think they're on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So based upon Zverev's level, he could lose right off.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward.
I have Medvedev beating Tsonga and then facing Wawrinka. I had to pick Wawrinka. Medvedev, Wawrinka.
Okay, I do have Medvedev, Wawrinka. That would be a fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
Below that, I would have Rublev.
I have Rublev
facing Bachelus Vili.
I have Rublev facing Casper Ruud.
Okay, so I have Bachelus Vili getting through Zverev. I have Rublev getting through Goffin. I have a quarterfinal of Kyrgios playing Thiem, and I have a quarterfinal of Medvedev playing Bachelus Vili.
Oh, you fast forward. Okay. Well, I actually have Wawrinka beating Medvedev. I think Medvedev will be worn out. I know you guys are going to laugh at me. I always have to go with the older classic players. I think it'll be Rublev and Wawrinka, and then Wawrinka moving on.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Different from what most people are going to pick.
All right, top half of the men's draw semifinal. Who you got?
It's Nadal against Wawrinka.
I have top half. I have Kyrgios against Medvedev. I have Kyrgios winning that and going to the final. Let's go.
Alrighty.
Who do you got?
I already told you.
To the final.
Nadal? Oh, Nadal. Yeah, of course.
All right. So as I wrote down notes doing this, again, please excuse the lack of preparation or the super speed, but a lot goes on this day. And we'll slow down as the days progress. Here's my notes. Nadal and Kyrgios, are they on a collision course? I think so.
Of course they are.
Is Carreño Busta a threat to Nadal?
No.
Monfils is in the mix. Do you think so or no?
No.
Felix Auger-Aliassime could meet Monfils in the third round.
Yeah.
Watch out for the oldest player on tour, the mighty Ivo Karlovic, the 40-year-old big server.
I think Vasily will beat him.
Taylor Fritz and Kevin Anderson can meet in the second round, right?
Yep, Anderson should win now.
Anderson should win. TM section is semi-clear.
Semi-clear, yeah.
Until he runs into Kyrgios. Mm-hmm. Zverev, by the way, could lose to Cecchinato, but has no shot at winning this tournament.
Yep.
Medvedev and Francis Tiafoe could be interesting.
Yeah, poor Tiafoe.
No, Tiafoe is extremely fit and can be really strong in the hot weather.
I hope he beats him.
Okay, maybe so. Okay, go Tiafoe. Let's go.
Yeah, just so he messes up a little bit.
Tsonga, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga versus Medvedev in the potential
could be a
third
fun
round.
day, fun match to watch.
John Isner could win a round or two, but watch out for Kecmanovic and Wawrinka, who loom close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just after that, we have Wawrinka that could potentially be on a collision course with John Isner.
Yep.
Rublev or Goffin in the third round. Watch out for that. Zverev or Basilashvili in the third round. Watch out for that. But I think Basilashvili and Rublev will meet in the fourth. And ultimately, I think Kyrgios will keep rolling.
All right, let's go to the next one.
All right, let's roll. Men's bottom half.
I thought it was interesting to see Fognini against Opelka again.
I thought it was interesting that Matteo Berrettini led the field at the top of the draw in the bottom half. I'm like, Matteo Berrettini? I'm used to seeing like Federer there or something. Matteo Berrettini is now leading the bottom half of the draw. How well will Matteo Berrettini do?
He'll meet Federer for sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. So like I said, Fognini, Opelka. I actually have Opelka beating Fognini.
He could. Now Opelka carries that zebra racing stripe racket.
I have Opelka going far actually to the fourth round.
I stayed away from it. I was too.
But I didn't pick him in my.
I was too worried.
I didn't pick him in my thing. So.
No. And look up here.
Did I?
Up here at the top of this part of the draw, Berrettini to me is no threat. The next match,
I did pick him.
Look, the first really good match I saw was Borna Coric and Sam Querrey.
Yeah, Coric should win that.
Coric should win that. I have Coric going all the way to the quarterfinals to meet Federer, by the way.
Nah.
I think
Peyo beat him.
I think Coric will get through Querrey. I think Coric will then get through Carballes Baena or Berankis, and then I think Coric will get through either Harris or Berrettini, and then meet Federer in the quarters.
Another interesting match was Shapovalov against my man, Iron Man Fucsovics. And I have Fucsovics actually beating him.
Yeah, I think you're off on that one. I think Shapovalov will beat Fucsovics. That's a good first round match to watch.
That's a tough first round match. And you got the young boys, Sinner also.
Yannick Sinner. Now, by the way, the Yannick Sinner, he's an Italian player, if I remember correctly, that did really well. We talked about him on a video. But there's another player that's a French player that's a good piano player. His name's Moutet. Who does Moutet play in the first round? See if you can find Moutet.
He plays Cilic, which I have him beating Cilic.
Oh, I picked Cilic.
I have him.
I've locked mine in. I can't change. I'm sticking with Cilic. I think Cilic beats Moutet, but Moutet keep playing the piano. But if we look at just to speed up this bottom half of the draw, who else do we got between Borna Coric really?
Dimitrov. I have Dimitrov going pretty far.
Well, you got Federer.
Yeah,
you got Hurkacz and Federer.
Well, yeah, I picked Hurkacz, but I do have Federer beating him.
So yeah, I have Hurkacz and Federer meeting in the third round. I have Federer winning that. I have personally, don't shoot me, but I have Denis Shapovalov meeting Federer, and Federer beating Shapovalov, and then Federer meeting Coric in the quarterfinals, and Federer going to the semis. Somehow we got a lawnmower now going. Every time we do a show, someone just happens to show up on this island of about 300 people and start working on the house, nailing something into the roof, FedEx dude knocking at the door. You're like, what? Is it just the way we roll?
I guess
we're just a magnet.
We're just being tested in life, and you got to take the punches, you know.
Roll with the blows.
Roll with the blows, yeah. Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas got a pretty open draw to me. He should meet, in my opinion, Djokovic. I don't see where anybody's going to stop Tsitsipas.
Do we need to waste a lot of time on the bottom half of the men's draw?
No, Djokovic is just Struff. Then who he has? Some wild card qualified. Jiri, Evans. I think Evans will beat Jiri. Doesn't matter who wins there. Lajovic, Schwartzman. I don't see it. Bautista Agut.
I think Stefanos Tsitsipas loses to Milos Raonic in the third round. By the way,
I have Garin beating Raonic. I don't think so.
I think that Marin Cilic will meet up with Milos Raonic in a big servathon type fourth round. I think Cilic will get into the quarterfinals. I don't think we need to talk about Schwartzman doing damage to Djokovic. I don't think we need to talk about Daniel Evans.
Djokovic can go like this.
Djokovic can just hit the snooze button. He might as well go like this. Yeah.
All right, where's my semis?
So, bottom half of the men's draw, I have quarterfinals looking like Coric and Federer. I have Cilic and Djokovic. I have the semi being Federer and Djokovic. I have Djokovic winning that. I have Djokovic going to the final, obviously, playing Nick Kyrgios, and Djokovic winning the Australian Open this year.
Don't kill me, guys. I have Djokovic facing Federer and Federer beating him. And Nadal winning and tying
Djokovic winning Federer?
In the semi.
Oh, yes. Who do you have going to the final? Djokovic, Nadal?
No. Federer, Nadal.
Oh, shoot.
I did not go with Djokovic because all of you guys will go with Djokovic. And I said, you know what? It's time for Nadal to finally win an Australian Open after being in so many finals.
All right, couple notes I have.
So I think he'll tie Federer.
I don't. I don't. I think Djokovic will be the first to do anything, and I think Djokovic will tie and
I
pass.
had to go different.
I think Djokovic will tie and pass everybody.
I had to go
point.
different. Sorry, guys.
The last party notes that I have. Number one, shocking to me that Matteo Berrettini was at the. That
You already said this.
He led the bottom half. I'm just saying, shocking notes.
Yeah.
I can't believe Berrettini's leading the bottom half of the draw. I think Andrew Harris, the wild card from Australia, can beat him in the first round. Djokovic and Struff, great match first round. Djokovic and Laszlo Jiri could be a good match in the third round. Don't forget about Philip Kohlschreiber, the beautiful one-handed backhand. Lovely backhand to watch, but I don't think he'll do any damage. Watch out for Milos Raonic, 32 seed. He's on my fantasy team.
He's not on mine.
Watch out for Cilic versus Mutet in the first round. Let's go Cilic. Federer versus Hurkacz in the third round could be an absolutely spectacular match. I still don't trust Shapovalov though. Querrey versus Coric in the first round. Coric could make some noise in this tournament. Opelka and Fognini in the first round should be very, very, very good as well.
All right, let's do our fantasy groups.
All right, so again, I know a lot of you do not play this, so thank you for tuning in, and sorry if that was so quickly. But do you want to go ahead and read, Carla, you go ahead and read your women's fantasy team, followed by your men's fantasy team, and your finals predictions.
Sure, I have Serena, Pliskova, Collins, Keys, Osaka, Yastremska, Anisimova, and Muguruza.
Men's?
I have Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Tsitsipas, Kyrgios, Anderson, Opelka, and Hurkacz.
Finals predictions?
Federer, Nadal winning, and Serena and Pliskova, Serena winning.
All right, my fantasy teams are as follows. Ashley Barty, Naomi Osaka, Aryna Sabalenka, Carolina Pliskova, Anisimova, Garbine Muguruza, Amanda Anisimova, Danielle Collins, and Yastremska. Men's side, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Hurkacz, Cilic, Raonic, Basilashvili, and Kyrgios. Finals predictions, Naomi Osaka plays Sabalenka with Sabalenka winning. Let's get down. And then Novak Djokovic playing Kyrgios in the final, and Djokovic taking the cake. Let's go!
Our women's are pretty similar, except for Sabalenka.
That's how we roll. That's it. Akabato.
Don't forget to put your picks in. I think there's like 8 people that did it already, right?
If you play, yes, something like that. If you want to play for a tennis racket and prizes and have any inkling to sit down and maybe select a finalist and a winner or a fantasy team, check out the video. And hopefully at this point in the video, I'll stick it somewhere.
All right.
Anyway, that's it, everyone. See you tomorrow. The action has begun. Everyday shows till the Australian Open completes. Let's go!
All right.
Until next time, see you. Adios.
Adios.